Hey, good morning. How you doing, guys? Aloha from tropical Montana, Montana Skywatcher. This is Samuel Hofman. A little shadowing going on here. Trying to get a little heads up on what's going on. We've got a whole bunch of new members and a whole bunch of people out there who are actually just waking up to the whole situation here. And the passing Nibiru group of planets, Nibiru. Anyway, let me get rid of this here, and we'll fix the noise problem. Anyhow. How you doing, guys? As you can see, we've got a layout of the current semi-approximate status of the passing Nibiru group, and I'm hoping you guys are understanding the placement on this and how the sun is and the light pinches and stuff like that. Let's get going here. I'd like to discuss that a lot of folks have been seeing a cutoff of the sun over here on the side, on the left and on the right. And a lot of that has been, of course, Uri movement, and it's been cutting off the sun right here, and then the flaring goes around the side of the planet, thus causing what we call a cutoff flare. Same thing going on here with the side of Isatum. There's been a lot of red coloration in the sunsets and in the skies lately. That's because Nepacity and Isatum are playing a key role in the coloration of the skies. A lot of you guys are seeing green skies. Now, Nepacity is not necessarily bigger than Isatum. It just happens to do with placement and where it is versus the lineup and where Earth is in rotation, etc., etc. Now remember, we can still not really see a lot of these planets because they are between us and the sun, and so we're seeing the back side of these, the dark side of these planets, and only when they move to an angle of a different angle where the sunlight actually reaches up to it and comes underneath the planet Saru, because this is massive, 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 massive Saru up here. Okay, one of the Titans, 5 times size of Earth. Nibiru is supposed to be 7 times. Isatum is, I think, just a little bit larger than Earth, but we don't have all the details. Anyway, how you guys doing? I'm trying to get this video going here for you. I've got a couple others that we'll produce in the future so that we can get everybody caught up on how to catch the planets and stuff. Excuse me, that one's not supposed to be behind. But anyway, this is what's going on this week. A lot of people are getting the sightings of Nepacity. Nepacity is the what we believe the spotted volcanic planet. It's coming in close past Earth lately. Here's another reference view of it, of what's going on. Matim has been sighted a lot recently, doing the crossover across the sky. Uri and Atu seem to be setting back farther, but they're creating a series of their own cloud groups, and all sorts of neat cloud ion pullovers between the planets is happening lately, and a lot of people out there already know what I'm talking about. Now, as you guys mostly know, we've been doing this for a little over 6 years, and the tracking of the incoming planets and everything has been pretty well proven over time with all the members sending in their pictures, and we're seeing placement and locations and the circular objects, and these crescents on the sides of the planets and stuff. And I'd like to give a shout out to WSO and those folks out there, and Nibiru Countdown and Nibiru Ascending and Wayseer Indigos and Cloud Cloaks and everybody affiliated with that. And hi Sharon, hi Len, and everybody. You guys are doing great work. I appreciate it. You're really helping me keep up on top of stuff here. And of course, I'd like you to continue to send in your paperwork and photographs. Now, let's also not forget the object cluster group. A lot of people are mistaking the object cluster group as Nibiru and some of the smaller planets and stuff like that. It's not. They're coming in really darn close. They're passing underneath on a regular basis. For the longest period of time, they've been crossing in front of the sun. Now, depending on where you are on the planet is going to affect what you see and how you see it. Sometimes we see them over the top of the sun. Sometimes we see them underneath the sun. Sometimes you see Nepacity higher in the sky, bigger in the sky. Sometimes you see Isatum over here. Sometimes you see it over there. Now, that has a lot to do with where you're located on the planet. Now, also what I'd like to discuss is this could be very serious. It could be very, very serious. We don't know exactly probably what's going on. And I'd also like to point out that Uri and Atu have been creating this really cool effect lately, and depending on if I can find my silly piece of paper here, at one point in time a week or two ago, Isatum had pulled over, and I believe Isatum is actually going backwards in rotation because they have a tendency to orbit under the sun at this area, whereas Uri and Atu do it over here, and then of course Saro's in the big overall. But there's been the ion cloud drag off that's been visible to a lot of people for a long time. And trying to find this one particular picture. Okay, yeah, there it is, of course, lost. This is what a lot of people have been seeing on the right-hand side of the sun. Now note that Saru is behind this mass, behind it, but much larger. But Attu and Uri have been close together for, oh God, quite a few months, and they do this rotation, and this they were like this last year and the year before also. So point with it is that Attu is purple, Uri is the gray shiny thing with the stripes, and it's been doing this ion, really cool ion cloud thing, and everybody's getting a lot of pictures of it. And it's got this pointy little bottom, and a lot of the times all you're really going to be able to see is little brief views of Attu, where Uri is really hard to see because it's a lot of times buried in these really bubbly side and bottom clouds. Now there has been some sighted loops on the one hand side, excuse me, I'm pushing the paper on here. The loops have been sighted coming out. That and what's been going on with Nepacity lately. Now we've also discussed that out of the side and behind Nepacity, the object group is being visibly seen as well. But on close passes, when Nepacity comes in close to Earth, and I know that's still widely debated, but when Nepacity, as you can see, of course, according to the horizon line, when Nepacity comes in close to Earth, it's putting off this bottom new base, double-ringed base cloud, and of course the skies turn green, and there's this big, huge core that's literally, you know, like an F5 tornado or land hurricane or whatever. Also watch what's going on with the weather here, ladies and gentlemen, because boy, there's a lot of really cool stuff happening national, and I truly believe this heat wave, the heat bubble over the United States has a lot to do with it as well. Anyway, I'm going to try and make this brief. That way I can actually post this on Facebook, because if you make really long videos, it takes 3/4 of a day to actually get it to come up on Facebook. Anyway, aloha from tropical Montana. Sam Hofman here. Sorry I had a lot of coffee today, so therefore I'm a little jittery. Trying to get all the dishes and laundry and raising the kids and Montana Skywatcher all done for one day. Anyway, you guys take care. Thanks. Bye. Hey, good morning. How you doing, guys? Aloha from tropical Montana, Montana Skywatcher. This is Samuel Hofman. Little shadowing going on here. Trying to get a little heads up on what's going on. We've got a whole bunch of new members and a whole bunch of people out there who are actually just waking up to the whole situation here. And the passing Nibiru group of planets, Immeru Nibiru. Anyway, let me get rid of this here, and we'll fix the noise problem. Anyhow. How you doing, guys? As you can see, we've got a layout of the current semi-approximate status of the passing Nibiru group, and I'm hoping you guys are understanding the placement on this and how the sun is and the light pinches and stuff like that. Let's get going here. I'd like to discuss that a lot of folks have been seeing a cutoff of the sun over here on the side, on the left and on the right, and a lot of that has been, of course, UV movement, and it's been cutting off the sun right here. And